live.
It's Tuesday afternoon live.
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
I am so challenged this week with my days.
You've been off the whole
I have been off all week.
So Kevin was off earlier today too. It's all good.
was totally. All right, let's see here. Are we live yet? I don't see it. Yeah, it looks like it says we're streaming live.
Hey.
Yay. Says
Boom.
we're live now. Awesome. So hi everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Kevin.
Welcome to Wednesday Afternoon Live from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Chicago, Illinois, and San Diego, California.
Woo.
Yes, three totally different weather patterns, I'm guessing.
Totally.
Oh my gosh. Got my big bulky sweatshirt on, but it is my high five sweatshirt, so just clarifying.
I noticed I was on Facebook this weekend and saw that one of our graduates proposed to his girlfriend wearing his high five sweatshirt. So their engagement pictures are him in his high five sweatshirt.
I love it.
Yeah. Getting the word out.
Do it. That's the way to do it.
That's it. All right. Well, so welcome everybody to our not so impromptu call today. I want to first start by thanking Lee Ann for agreeing to join us for a few minutes today and share your experience of going through our 3-day intensive class. It's been 30 days since your class.
It is. Yes, this is day one of my next 30-day outcome.
Awesome.
So, great day to be catching up with everyone and sharing my experience.
Yeah. So the whole idea here, Lee Ann, is just to give you an opportunity to talk about the class and what you got out of it and how life has been different over the last 30 days. So how's it going?
Kevin, it's going great. Barb, as you know, Kevin, I get the opportunity to touch base with you on a regular basis and share my outcomes. And before I begin, though, I'd love to give a shout out to Team 1804. Yep, every single one of them have been either a role model or an inspiration to me, and they continue to be a role model and inspiration to me. And I wanted to thank them for sharing this experience with me as well, because we all started off together. Sure. And that was a really empowering 3 days to spend, let me tell you. So I've come a long way since then. I guess to be vulnerable, until then, I was suffering from what I felt was a debilitating lack of self-confidence. And what the workshop allowed me to do was to start recognizing some of the programming that I had in my life that was keeping myself from that self-confidence. We all have a tendency to blame other people, sometimes wish our life away. I wish things could be different. I'd like to blame somebody for not doing something else. But basically what I learned is that to live a life that you absolutely love requires personal accountability. And that comes in many forms. And I started learning in those 3 days how to rewrite my story, how to take back control of my life, how to find my self-confidence once again, and stop blaming everybody else, because guess what? It's my choice. How I'm feeling in any given moment is all about me. So the blame game had to stop. The stories I was telling myself about why I couldn't do something had to end. And the first 3 days were very eye-opening, because I came into that thinking very differently about who I was, what I wasn't accomplishing, and some personal disasters that I had created in my life by my own choice. But what I learned is that I could rewrite those stories, that I had the power to change those things, and that no one has any control over me other than myself. When I get up each day, I have the choice. And so some of the things that we learned, including journaling, teamwork, being present in our lives, and having this incredible team of individuals around us to catch us when we fall. just really made a remarkable difference in how I started looking at the world, how I started interacting with people around me, what I was bringing, what type of game I wanted people to see that I was bringing to the table every day. And it was quite dramatic. Recognizing the things in others, perhaps, that I was finding fault in, rather than looking at myself and saying, hey, sister, check that at the door. That is a story. Basically, you were writing about yourself.
Yeah.
So reframing my life made a significant difference. Being forgiveful of myself. You know, there are many days over the last 30 days where I made significant progress with a lot of these things. There were also days where I fell down, and through the workshop and through the messaging that we received every day, it was, you know, you need to be kind to yourself. It's okay. You know, just get back up, brush that dirt off, girl, and just say, what the hell? I can do better than this, and I will. Can isn't really a great word, is it?
Well, you know, so can is just a statement of potential.
Yeah.
Right? You can,
but
the
you know,
power doesn't.
I did.
The power comes from saying I will, or I am, or I did. Absolutely right.
It was so empowering to see the changes that were taking place in my life. Finding kindness and compassion with people around me, maybe some things I hadn't done before. Quite frankly, 30 days ago, I never, ever would have done this video. I would have found 1,000 reasons not to appear today to talk to all of you, because I had no self-confidence to be able to get on social media, or that I felt my voice really mattered. And I lead a company every day, and that's how I was feeling. You know, I try to get up, and I felt I was leading people, but I wasn't until that moment. So right. There were some really big aha moments that made the 30 days very worthwhile.
And you've been practicing. So what's so cool about this for me and watching your journey, Lee Ann, is you've taken the stuff that you learned in the class and you're practicing it. So, you know, we use this little tool called Marco Polo. That's a little video for those of you that don't know. It's a little, it's like a texting app, but instead of texting, it does little video text messages. So you do these little, you know, 30-second videos, and it's almost like Snapchat. But, you know, Lee Ann, you have been consistent. I think every day for 30 days, you have posted at least one Marco Polo to the group and sharing with what's going on in your life. There were some good days, there were some challenging days, and you put it out there. But one of the things that you said relatively early on that really struck me was it wasn't comfortable for you to do it. And it didn't, I couldn't tell that it wasn't comfortable for you. I thought you'd been doing videos for years, but it's just that choice of being self-confident and doing the things that are out of your comfort zone that make it more comfortable. And here you are 30 days later, doing a great job on social media on a video of all things.
Well, thank you, Kevin. A commitment that I made to myself to address my self-confidence was that each day I would confront at least one new fear. Yeah. And we are all leaders. Everyone is a leader. But so another skill that we used was that leaders go first. Mm-hmm. We're all leaders, and I needed to confront this fear. And one way to do that is to get out of bed each morning and say, you know what, I'm totally frightened out of my mind to do these videos. I have no idea what I'm going to say, but I will go first. My voice matters. And pretty soon, once you start being consistent with your leadership, it becomes more natural. And so it feels really good 30 days later to be able to say those things and absolutely apply what we've learned.
Awesome.
You know, one of my favorite sayings, Lee Ann, is leadership is a practice, right? Because we don't just get it in 3 days. We practice it, and you've just been the epitome of practicing, and it shows. Absolutely. And not only do you do Marco Polo videos, but you got your whole team doing Marco Polo videos.
Well, yeah. You know, when we have a team, like our high five team, 1804, or my work group at Solid Rock, we're dispersed so far from each other geographically that to see one another and to at least share what we have going on, whether it's funny or whether it's meaningful, it brings us together in ways that we just simply couldn't do. So when you introduce that as another tool or resource for us to be able to empower each other and help each other, this is a great tool for any groups, really. Even in my personal relationship with my husband, Mark, we are using Marco Polo to connect with each other during the day. He travels a lot on business, and I'm traveling and on the go too. But it's been a way for us to work on our relationship, include each other in our lives, and show each other where we are during the day. So it's really been a wonderful means for us to stay connected for my personal life as well as my professional life. And I thank you just for introducing that to my world. It's made a huge difference.
Absolutely. So you mentioned
paid. Oh, never mind.
So you mentioned Solid Rock, and we had an opportunity before you came to the 3-day class. We had an opportunity to do a 1-day class with you and most of your team there in balmy, beautiful Bismarck, North Dakota. So talk a little bit about, and John, your business partner, John, has also been to the 3-day class. So talk a little bit about what it's like to have other people in your organization who've had the same experience, and surrounding yourself with the kind of people that have had a similar experience. And also, what's it like to go back and connect the things that you learned at the 3-day class to some of the stuff that we talked about around communication is really where we spent most of our time on our 1-day. So talk a little bit about that, if you would.
I'll address working with a business partner that has been through this. It has changed the dynamics of our relationship. We can speak with each other in a similar manner because we understand when we say there's a positive in every negative. We often find ourselves on the phone, maybe connecting with each other and sharing some instances. We had an instance earlier today where, something blew up and it didn't go exactly the way we had thought it might, and so it was an opportunity for us to reframe what was going on, find the positive, focus on that, and help each other realign our thinking. So when you have gone through that experience, I think it's really important, the reframing, the recalibration, the focusing on objectives and what's the outcome. When we lose sight of what our outcomes are in our personal interactions, we can very easily let things spin out of control. And that's been really helpful for my communications with him, and quite frankly, for people that work with us as well. What is the outcome? And I don't necessarily always state in every interaction what's the outcome here, but in my mind, I'm always thinking, what is my outcome for this conversation? What are we trying to help people achieve? And I think those are tremendous tools to use, especially when things don't always go as planned. And as we all know in business, that's pretty rare.
Yeah. So. The only constant is change, right?
Yeah. And we're both big personalities. And I think that if he had just gone through this workshop and I had not chosen to do so, I'm not sure that we would have this equilibrium that we can share with each other to keep each other in balance and in focus. I think we would have continued to be out of focus and out of balance. And that wouldn't have been great for our organization. So those are some of the bigger things: practicing kindness with each other. A lot of the things that we bring to our personal life, not blaming, instead refocusing and saying, all right, what's this person's motives? I think motives can sometimes be misinterpreted, not only in our personal lives, but maybe in business. And just taking a step back, taking a deep breath and saying, all right, what what are we trying to do here? And I think we focused a lot on the DISC profile as an organization, which has been very helpful for me when I think about picking up the phone and connecting with the individual members of our group. How they think, how they process information, where they stand in relationship to how I communicate and where I need to be at the moment in order to meet them there and ensure that we have a successful collaboration or communication. And that has really, really been helpful for me. I don't think I was always meeting people in a place where they could hear what I was saying or what we were trying to do. So that continues to be something that I am working into.
Good catch.
My working relationships and day-to-day interactions with my team. That takes time. You really have to ensure that you're being present and focusing on what you're doing and how you're interacting with the team to keep that in check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said. What else do you think people should know, Barb?
That's a great question for Lee Ann. What else would you want people to know, if anything, Lee Ann, about your experience, about High Five? And
I always thought I was stepping outside of my comfort zone in my life, but I was not being intentional about it. Now, when I think about the larger picture, I'm working with Kevin one-on-one as my personal coach, and we're delving deeper into my dream guide, what I'm trying to accomplish in my life, and the significance of our 30-day outcomes, and digging deeper into the weekly outcomes and what a day-to-day outcome actually means, where you're trying to take that. Because when we talk about outcomes, that I think they can get lost if you're not working towards something that's significant for you. And that's what I've been always struggling with for a while. Until now, I just wasn't really identifying what those areas in my life were. And Kevin has helped me recognize that there are really 8 different, areas that we can focus on that contribute to our dreams. What a challenge. It sounds so simple to say, oh, well, there are probably 8 different categories in my life I could develop a dream for. But then digging deep into those and bringing it granular into the day-to-day outcomes that you're trying to achieve, man, that's some good stuff. That is really, really good stuff. And it's hard, but it is worthwhile, because that's when everything makes sense. And that's when you start waking up and saying, wow, I know why I'm doing today. I know what my outcomes are and why they're important to me and how it all fits together. And I was missing that. So I can't thank you enough for just helping me to think through these things. It started with those first 3 days. Here I am at day number 1 of my second 30-day outcome, but I am just getting started and I am loving this. I love what it's doing for me. I love what it's doing for the people around me. And it's just brought a whole new level of awareness to my life that I hadn't seen before, or that I even recognized or understood was possible.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I love that, Lee Ann. And I love that you said it's hard work, because it is hard work and it's worth it, because the joy that comes out on the other side, and it's really just an investment in ourselves, right? We expect others to invest in us, and yet so few of us invest in ourselves. And once we do, something else is available. And, I think that's the piece. And even if we think our life is just fine, what's next, right? What's that next level that we
What else is possible?
Yeah, what else is possible?
Well, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought because I wanted to add to that something that was so important, and hopefully it'll come back while we're chatting. But it's really what I wanted to leave everyone with as it relates to next steps and how important they are. I kind of lost it. Hopefully it'll come back.
That's all right. It's perfect is what it is.
It is perfect.
It's absolutely perfect.
Oh, here it is.
See?
So when we first sat down, we talked about how most people will invest or spend a great deal. And I'm guilty of that. You know, I've spent a lot of money over the years on going to some beautiful resorts and coming back after that feeling relaxed, but maybe still scratching the back of my head and thinking, it was nice to have that time off, but what did I really get out of it? You know, the investment, very few of us will take that same amount of money and invest in ourselves. And a workshop like this that can change the course of your life, make you a better version of yourself. You know, that's an investment that I hadn't considered making in a long time. And it was worth it. You know, it really was worth it. And it was a great way to frame out how we think about ourselves. I need time off. I need a week's vacation. I need to run off to Europe, or I need to go to the Bahamas. But wow, if you could redirect that and be a better version of yourself, that's something.
You know, we say it in class that most people will spend more money on a 2-week vacation than they will ever spend on their own personal development. And they certainly also, you know, will spend more time on that 2-week vacation than they'll spend more time and money going on vacation than they will ever spend on themselves. And what better to invest in than yourself, because you get to take it with you for the rest of your life. So, you know, it's an interesting dilemma that we face, because it's important, right? And we also get a lot of people, and I just want to make this point, because a lot of times what people hear is, oh, well, you help people fix things that are broken, right? And it's not at all about fixing anything that's broken, because there is nothing broken. It's just about being a better version of yourself. You said it, right? It's just about what's next. What else is possible? What's my next level look like? Because we get a lot of people that say, you know what? My life is awesome. I'm good. That's great. I'm glad your life is good. And how much better could it be? What else is possible? So it's not about fixing anything that's broken. There's nothing wrong. Nothing needs to be fixed. Mm-hmm. Yet we've all got, you know, stuff that when we look at our lives, it's like, it could be better. You talked about the 8 areas, right? Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, relational, financial, a couple others that I can't think of off the top of my head, right? Yeah. But you know, there's always something that we can learn, because as soon as we think we've gotten to a point where we got it all figured out, now we're in a state of dying and decaying and no longer growing. So very cool.
Get out of that comfort zone.
It's the only place that the new opportunities exist, right? It's where all the new possibilities are. It's where all the unknown fun stuff is. We can have fun in our comfort zones, but the growth is always outside of it.
Well, I have to say that for sure. And that, and being able to just, you know, laugh at myself, not take myself so seriously. You know, that's been fun.
Yeah.
Got the wink from Barb, but it is so true. You know, sometimes you just start getting so stressed out about everything, and you're just thinking, wow, you know, I can't take one more thing. Well, you know what? Turn on your power song, do a little dance, laugh a little bit. Everything's going to be okay. Nothing is that serious.
That was one of my biggest learnings when I first started doing this stuff, Lee Ann, was that it's just really not all that serious. So yeah. Love that.
Yeah, we laugh at ourselves all the time. Usually people are laughing at me, but that's okay, because I'm a funny dude. But yeah.
I have a final thought too, because before I took the class, I told you, I would never journal. I would never see myself journaling. I thought, oh my gosh, that's just going to be a pain in the ass. There's no way I'm ever going to be journaling. And who does that? Seriously. It's been one of the most effective tools that I had. I said, you know what, I'm going to start doing this. And when I don't journal, I find that I get off track with things. And when I do, again, it's just another way to hold ourselves accountable, because if you want to live a life that you absolutely love, you're going to have to do some self-accountability, or it's just not going to happen. And I do want to live a life that I absolutely love, and it requires work.
Yeah, it does require.
It's not hard work. It just requires some dedication and commitment.
And focus.
You got to be committed to wanting that. It's not just going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And well said. It's in the class, what we say is it's about making life happen because of you rather than letting life happen to you. And it does. It just requires a little focus and thought and then putting it into action and taking a chance, taking a risk. What's the worst thing that can happen? You might fail. So what?
And I did, and it was okay. And I laughed about it. And I said, you know, it's going to be a better day. I'm going to make it better right now, because it was a choice in my head.
That's right. How long? So how much time? Because, you know, people hear journaling, and this was true for me. And I heard, oh, how much time do I have to write? Yeah. How much time, honestly, do you spend journaling on average?
Less than 3 minutes. I jot down the things that come to mind that are important to me to accomplish that day. Yep. And then I catch up with myself at the end of the day. How'd I do with that? And there were times where I didn't do the things that I set out to do, but you know what? They went right back on my list for the next day, and I made sure that I did. I wasn't hard on myself. I didn't beat myself up. But the amount of time that was spent doing it, and I suppose that's what everyone always thinks, oh my gosh, how much more can I possibly add to my already busy day? Yeah. You know, it doesn't require much time or effort, but the benefits that you get from that are measurable. You can look back over time and, oh my gosh, I remember that day, you know, or wow, that day I kicked some ass. Like, I just can't even believe that I did that. But if you set high goals for yourself, you're more likely to achieve them.
Absolutely.
When we don't, you know, what are we really striving for?
That's it. We're just going through the motions if we're not. Well, Lee Ann, thank you so much for taking the time. As always, you did a great job. So thank you.
Oh, it was fun. See, it was fun. I couldn't have said that 30 days ago.
If the story you tell yourself is that it's going to be fun, then the chances are it'll be fun.
And it was. Thank you. It was an honor. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, you guys have a great day. If anybody has any questions, reach out to us. If anybody wants to ask Lee Ann questions, we can get you in touch with her. But thank you, Lee Ann. I will look forward to seeing you on Friday for our coaching call, and then again on Monday morning for our call with Solid Rock.
Yes, we'll see you both.
All right. Well, you guys have a great night. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And remember, always choose joy.
Choose joy.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.